Straight back up in this thing, ready to get some on that wax.
Another session with the bros. BrosTalk. Where the beer's ice cold. BrosTalk. Another session with the bros. BrosTalk. Come and tell us what you know. BrosTalk.
All right, cool. Yo. What up, world? What up, peoples and tweeples out there? It's your boy T Broski. I got the homies, the guys, the players in here with me.
Yo,
What's going on, y'all?
Hey,
Corey.
man.
just gonna introduce you to them.
And that's Lando. Or don't call me Lando. Either one. Either one is Bros Talk.
Best intro ever.
That was pretty weak. I should have backed up some.
Flawless.
But you know what I want to do? I want to get like one of that. You remember that suit that Busta Rhyme had where he was all buffed up? I want to get one
Buster
of those.
Rhyme.
Yeah. But how your players doing today, man?
Chill. You know what I'm saying? Doing well as one can do in these troubled times.
What's troubled about these
Trouble.
times? What's troubled about these times, brother?
War?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that is terrible. But what we
Yeah,
the
war is
latest
terrible.
yeah. But the latest is what we have right now is a ceasefire. So we have to be happy about that, right?
That's already been
Hey,
broken.
it's
Two
gonna
things
hold
happen.
up for forever.
That's already been broken.
Wait, not okay. Oh, address that. Go. Who broke it?
Israel.
Okay.
I was about
Boom.
to say, I don't think it's technically broken, but they did definitely break the rules. I just think they're letting it stand right now. But
But the
yeah,
trade is
Time out.
Israel
closed again.
Time out. You said
sure is.
they if we have a ceasefire and you fire, isn't that a break in the contract? Isn't that a breach of contract right there?
Yeah, yes, but what I'm saying is that the ceasefire is still intact. They didn't say, okay, the ceasefire's over. We're resuming back to, hostilities. The ceasefire is still intact, even though Israel did go against the ceasefire. Now, Israel's saying that they didn't, that it didn't apply to Hezbollah and Iran. Pakistan denies that. Iran, of course, denies that. So, I mean, but yes, Israel did definitely, fire missiles and then now, as Lando said, Iran is still, not really letting the traffic go through the Hormuz. So, um, well, yeah,
Yeah, that's where we
Well,
are right
well,
now.
and w-
But other
yes,
than that,
correct. That
everything is peachy honky dory. You know, it's springtime in the
perfect.
USA.
It's doing really well.
yeah. So with that being said, straight HORMUZ, Iranian officials came out and said that they're closed, shut down. Right? Do you blame them for that? Do you fault them? Are they wrong for doing that?
I think it's the last thing that they can really do to affect. It's their best chance, and I think they realize that. You know,
The best
it
chance to do what? Like, what are you saying? So
to
so you think military
maintain.
wise?
To exert some power or whatever
Okay.
to bring people to the table to negotiate whatever. Like this whole thing is over the strait being open, and it was going to be open during the ceasefire, and then the ceasefire was altered. The agreement was altered, so the strait is closed again. Like simple math, really. You know.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm saying like okay. So the whole thing is over the strait, right? The
No, 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 no. Well, the whole thing is over Iran's nuclear program and uh, the deal that Obama had in place that Trump didn't like, that we are now trying to renegotiate and put back in place, pretty much.
what I'm saying, what I meant by the whole thing, I'm talking about this particular situation, right? This whole ceasefire, because before that, this dude said that he was going to how did he put it?
Annihilate the society, something like
Annihilate a
that.
whole civilization. A whole civilization was going to die tonight,
Yeah,
right?
something
That's what
like
he said.
something like
Yeah,
that.
if Iran didn't come to terms or whatever, or at least come to some type of agreement.
Big
Which
words
they
from the
weren't.
president. Right.
Well, they did. They reached a ceasefire,
No,
like
that's that
90
means that
minutes.
that means we're gonna negotiate. See, this is my problem.
Right,
So
but
you can
That's not.
that's what he asked for.
No, he didn't. He asked them to.
If you're
I
talking
thought he
about the
said
last
open
time,
I
the
thought he said
agreement
open and
was
straight.
that was so if you're talking, so there's like a whole timeline of like multiple tweets. If you're talking in the beginning, yes, it was open the strait or we're gonna take out uh your power plants and things like that. And then now
Time,
it's
time,
more
time,
like
time. Right there, right there. Is that a war crime or not?
power plants, I believe so. I
Okay,
think
cool. Let's
bridges are. I know a lot of
okay,
people were
cool.
trying to say bridges were.
That's go cool. That's infrastructure, right? A
Yeah.
bridge will be considered infrastructure. One of their most major bridges that they have, wouldn't that be considered fucking up their infrastructure? Not necessarily a military
Yeah.
thing. Okay, cool. So okay, boom. So
Bridge has
outside
been
of
blown
the
up in every single war for tons of years. So I mean it's nothing new.
so outside of that part right there, so outside of that tweet, what's the next tweet? Because my whole thing is, wasn't it going straight down? Everything was based off of the Strait of Hormuz. Hormuz. It was never no. When we did the nuclear shit, that was the centrifuges, and then that surprise
No,
attack again.
no, bro. So what? Like all of this circles around the nuclear shit. You know what I'm saying?
I I get that. I get that. I get that. That's not what's being said. They're not saying Iran has nuclear capabilities. This is
Well,
why we need this, this, this. They're saying the Strait of Hormuz needs to be open. Am I missing something in that?
Well,
Or
Trump's number, according to him, and what's the lady, the white lady that speaks for him? I don't know, but Levette or
no.
Carolyn.
Phoebe is the one that's always talking about
Well,
Iran has
Trump
this
Trump
nuclear
said his
program.
top three. Trump said his top three priorities for like he had a 15-point plan, and he said the top three are all about Iran's nuclear ambitions. Like they want to get rid of all the nuclear. They don't want to allow them to have any more nuclear abilities in the future. Like that's I think like Lando said, that is the number one goal with Trump
okay,
going after him.
Paul. Right before you even moving forward, that's exactly what Lando's been talking about when Obama already had set in place,
Right, but they
right?
weren't following it, right?
They were.
They weren't because they had uranium that was enriched way past the level that they were supposed to have it at. And that's where the problem was an issue. They weren't letting UAEA, I think that United, the Atomic Agency, they weren't letting them, do inspections and things like that. And it's very nuanced. Like there's a ton of stuff where I could say, oh, Iran did this, and I'm sure you could say, oh, well, America did this first. So it's like, okay, well, at the end of the day, when you come to the agreement was you're not supposed to have these things. They do have those things. So
But
you're not
who
supposed
And
to
said
we
they
like.
have those things though?
They have, and they enriched it to like 80%, like within the weeks before the Fordo attack and all that, which is why they said they felt justified to launch that attack because they were so close to getting it to weapons grade. And there's no application past 40% for uranium until you get to 90s. and then it's for a weapon. Like you don't use it for anything else. If you use it for energy, you only need it to 40. Anything above that you don't use. So there's no reason other than to build a bomb. And so a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, did Iran said they're not going to build a bomb?" And it's like, "Yeah, okay.
Well, they were
But
told not to
why
build a bomb.
else would they be
Not they.
enriching this uranium?"
They were told not to build a bomb.
No, they
They're not.
agreed when they signed the treaty. When they signed the world treaty agreeing that they would not build nuclear weapons, like they agreed on it, just like almost every other country in the world. Um, so I mean, it's and that's not even just us. That's global, right? Um,
Right, but
but yeah,
who
I
says that they weren't like, and they weren't complying? Like Trump is the only person that was upset about this agreement and saying that they weren't complying and that we were getting screwed over in this agreement. Like because it was
I don't
fine.
think that's
Hold on, it
true.
was fine under Biden.
Israel.
Like Israel was making noise and stuff, but they couldn't convince Biden to do anything because they came to the finding
It was ice
that
cream time.
Israel was using bad intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So and then that same intelligence is what Trump is using to justify his actions now.
I know that
True. So
they go off of reports from I can't remember the acronym. It's the United something Atomic Agency, and basically they're the ones responsible for keeping track of all this. Iran doesn't let them in, which is violation of the agreement that we have. A lot of people will say, "Oh well, America did this to break the agreement." I'm just saying at the end of the day, like I said earlier, there's certain things that they're supposed to abide by that they're not.
cool. So from
Does
that,
that justify the attack? Some people feel, yeah, go ahead.
I was saying, so the whole thing was the Strait of Hormuz is closed, right? And we had somebody in office that stated that they would delete a whole civilization. Flat out. Do y'all agree with that statement? Do y'all is that statement cool to y'all? Okay. Do you understand where he was coming from? Corey,
No, no, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Lando,
What
That's
was the
literally.
statement?
that he
You said what?
would. You got to get the exact
He said
tweet.
a
What
whole
was
civil was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got it.
No.
He
It
said,
was just that the you broke up a little bit while you were talking, so I didn't know which statement you were talking about. But you're talking about the annihilate the civilization or society. Now that's crazy that your head of state is making tweets or truths. My bad. At that level, like it's bad that your head of state is making truths to begin with, and
you don't have to say that.
now he's making truths threatening a whole country to be wiped off the map because he's not getting what he wants.
so we all denounced that, right? Okay, cool. So from that, there was a ceasefire called, right? Were agreed upon to shall I say. One thing I'll say about that, and this was so one thing was Strait Hormuz is closed, right? And the other part was he named his Pakistani uh 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 contacts, which was crazy to me. Because originally it was I don't want to name these people because I'm afraid somebody might do something to them or they might end up dead, i.e., Israel may kill them. You know what I'm saying? If you're making agreements with somebody that I don't want to make an agreement with, I got to get rid of you. Even if you're helping the situation, you're not doing what I want to be done, not the way I want to do it. And this is the thought process of some people, right? And originally, when they said they had contacts, they didn't say they was Pakistani. Then they came out and said they was Pakistani, and then they came out and said who they were, right? And that blew my head off. Like, holy smokes! Like they're telling who these people are. Maybe they're protecting them. Maybe shit's gonna change. Who knows? I doubt it, but we shall see, right? So from that. what we have to wait for this ceasefire, quote unquote, to end. Israel's wrong as fuck, man. And that's one thing I because they came out and said that they won't stop attacking. And they considered Hezbollah not a part of Irani people, right? And I forget where did they bomb them at? Was it in
Lebanon.
was it in Afghanistan?
Lebanon,
Lebanon, right?
Lebanon,
Lebanon. Uh Granted, I
Lebanon.
get it. I get it. So like, hey man, we gotta ceasefire with Section A, but I'm beefing with Section B, so I'm gonna go get them while the ceasefire is going on, right? And granted, they're not a part of Section A, although they have affiliation. They're just not over there with them, so I can go get them right now, right? I think that's wrong because it's a ceasefire, so that means no firing at all. That means civilian within that region should have peace for at least these 10 days or 14 days or whatever, right? You should at least have peace for that time frame. That's what the ceasefire gives you. Bro, at least we ain't got to worry about bombs today. And to break that ceasefire in any type of facet, I think is wrong. And you should be condemned for that. Whether it's, hey man, we ain't gonna do something. I don't know what it consists of, but you can't just break the rules and then act like it's okay just because you because you're on my side. Oh shit. What they gonna do? Like, I got all y'all with me. What they gonna do? They ain't gonna do nothing. Like, oh man, you wrong. Man, shit. It's like the kid that dad is the CEO, and then you bring in this terrible ass son that just ruins everything. And there's no recommendation behind him. None at all. He can just do whatever the hell he wants. Eventually, it's going to become unfair that you can do whatever you want, everybody else can't, right? Or should you just be reprimanded and put in line just like everybody else? And that's my whole thing. Should we reprimand these guys and keep them in line? Or is there no way to keep these guys in line? Because they've shown numerous of times that they're willing to
Now there's ways
to
to
attack when we say don't attack. They're willing to attack on ceasefires. They're willing to do things that
yeah,
we're quote unquote disagree with.
but there are ways to I guess punish them. We just don't want to cross that line yet. Like we could isolate East Israel and make them Cuba in the Middle East and make it so that nobody can send them anything, sanction the shit out of them. You know what I'm saying? But we'll never do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd have to get rid of all of APAC and a bunch of other shit to do some shit like that. Like I think the money in politics is is the biggest uh upheaval to what the common people want because money speaks louder than the common people's voice. We can't speak with our dollars the way corporations and other countries can with their lobbying ability. You know what I'm saying? And so if you can lobby the government to do you a favor for you or lobby them to look the other way while you fuck up their own negotiations, you know what I'm saying, then it's ultimately not going to matter, you know what I'm saying, what they do. And that's the problem we have with them right now is they're doing whatever they want and then they just throw some money at Washington, you know what I'm saying, and it's okay, you know what I'm saying. It's not okay on the world stage, but it's okay to the people in charge.
And that's my whole thing. So there's no recommendation behind their actions. It's just at this point right now, what you're saying is unfortunately, due to your financial backing, you have free roam to a certain extent.
Yeah, until you do something truly undeniably like just abhorrent, like we'll just go along with it. You know what I'm saying? They'd have to like deliberately bomb a school.
School
full of kids.
with
Right.
150 girls. Got you. Got you. I see what you're saying right there. I picked up what you was putting down. So, Corey, what do you think? Do you think that there's a way to, or do you think that they should be wrangled in, me them being Israel, and
Put boys on the hot seat.
how do you do that? How do you navigate that playing field, so to speak?
I mean, to start off, I think if Hezbollah wasn't in the part of it, then I don't think Israel's wrong for what they did. If they are part of it, then I do think they're wrong for what they did. So the problem is like we get these mixed messages. What
Part of what?
the ceasefire, because Israel and now Vance are all saying that, are both saying that, you know, Hezbollah was never part of that ceasefire. It was just Iran, Israel, and America. It has nothing to do with the proxies. So, of course, Iran is saying that that's not true, that they are. Pakistan also said that that's not true, that Hezbollah was part of it. So the thing is I'll be honest, I don't know who the fuck to believe. Like, I want to believe my government and my country, but I mean, I'm also somewhat of a realist, and I know that's not always something that I can do. So I don't know how to feel about it because I don't know what's true in that aspect of it. As far as Israel, yeah, I think they overstepped their bounds a lot. Well, I definitely think they overstepped their bounds. They did it earlier in the war when we told them not to strike. I think it was like the oil tankers or some shit like that, the oil tanks. And they did it anyways. And it's like, yo, like, come on. Now, I don't think I'm quite as I think I don't know. I don't see these payments. I don't know about these payments. I don't say they don't exist, but I don't know about these payments going to Washington from Israel, you know,
APAC.
for
That's what he's talking about. APAC.
okay, that's why you're talking about the lobby. Okay, got you, got you.
And there
Um,
is a website that you can go to that tracks all the APAC money, and it shows who it goes to, how much money they got, how much money, or excuse me, how much money they receive. And I want to
I
say
guess the
93 out of 100 senators receive money from APAC.
I was
But
about to
go
say, do
ahead,
y'all
my
know
bad.
who gets the
Continue.
most?
I'll look it up. But go ahead.
No, I do think Israel has a tendency to be a little aggressive. I I don't know. Some I think their whole mentality kind of switched up. At least the people running the country, maybe not the people in the country
Right,
so
right,
much,
right.
but after after October 7th, I think Israel just felt like everyone is a threat and we're going after them. I mean that
I
when you're a
mean,
target for a long time, like I can understand it. I'm not saying that they're right.
I can see
Um,
that, but I also think like BB is Netanyahu is doing whatever he can to stay in power so that he can stay out of court because he's like in court for corruption charges and things like that. But as long as he's in power and if there's things going on, they can't really do anything about it. You know what I'm saying?
through like Israel.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I think he, nah, never mind. Go ahead.
it's called trackapac.com, and it shows you can break it down by states. It shows you Israel lobby tracker, the Congress candidates for Congress 2028 presidential candidates, Trump administration endorsements, and all that good stuff. It's a website, right? So who has the most, or who makes the most, or who gets the most? I really couldn't tell you because it has every state broke down, right? So I can't go through. I don't have time to go through. So I did what the next best
I
thing
need answers.
was type in Texas, right? Because that's the best state. And one of the biggest names out of Texas is none other than him. He he who leaves himself when it's cold. You know, Teddy, Teddy then Cruzathins. You know, and I'm just
Raphael,
running through some
I
numbers.
mean, Raphael.
Uh, my
Teddy
bad,
is
my
his
bad.
chosen name. His
Uh,
mama named him Raphael. I'm gonna call him
My
Raphael.
fault. My
They don't
fault.
do they don't do the chosen name things. They go by government names over there on that side. So Raphael, the
My fault.
Canadian, the
My
Canadian,
fault. My
he
fault.
wasn't even a real Texan. He was born in Canada.
Yikes. Thanks for that information. We'll just start. We'll just start. I'll just start throwing out numbers. So there's a guy named Dan Crenshaw. He's up to 871,815. There's a guy named Keith Self. He's at 87,000. August Flogger at 401,000. Monica De La Cruz
No, no, hold on,
431,000.
hold on, hold on. Does it have what position they hold as well next to their name
Oh yes, sir. I'm sorry. These are U.S. representatives.
for for
Texas 20,
for
28th
U.S.
district, 22nd district. These are all U.S. representatives. Jasmine Crockett is on here. She received 104,000.
Goddamn Jasmine.
See what I'm saying? Julia Johnson, she's on here for 108,000. And then there's a guy in the green. His name is Greg Caesar, U.S. representative. He's a Democrat out of the Texas 30, I guess 35th district. He has a whopping $0, right?
What about Tallarico?
And then we'll go to somebody that you know very, very well. Or some people may know him. Name is John Corwin. Corwin.
Corning.
Corn. Yeah, I don't. I'll butcher that.
Corning.
Uh, 2 million.
2 million.
2 million. Yeah, and then the infamous Rafael Ted Cruz, $4.5 million.
Yeah.
Boys getting that
That's
guap,
just
huh?
one state.
That's
You know
side
what I
hustle.
mean?
That's one side hustle from your regular job.
So that's
Oh man.
supposed to be used. That's supposed to be reused for running purposes. For you to, that's a donation to your campaign.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be.
yeah.
I don't know how campaigns go. I'm not saying that somebody give me $1 million and I peel back 100,000, maybe 200, maybe 300. I put 500,000 into my campaign, pay some employees. I'm not saying that type of stuff happened. I don't know because I'm not in that position to do that personally. All I know is that if you have a nonprofit, I think it's like 90% of your money. You only have to like donate like 10% of the money. So like they have every nonprofit has a salary that they can pay CEOs and stuff like that,
Yeah, well,
which is crazy.
they gotta have like even though they're a nonprofit, they still gotta have fees to run their buildings and pay their employees and stuff like that. So, but it's just fucked up that you're donating to these super huge organizations, and you're thinking that you're gonna give like your $100 to for kids to get shoes in the middle of Africa or something, and they're taking that 100 and busting it down, and $2 is going to Africa, and 90 is going to
Yes.
their rent and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
And legally, they have the right to do that.
Right.
Legally, they could do that based off of these things. So I say all that to say, bring up APAC and everything like that to say, uh, how do you control somebody that make sure like you ain't about to tell like your kids ain't coming in the house telling you how to run the house because you pay the lights, you pay for the lights, you pay for everything. Like if
You
you're
gotta cut
paying
off
for
that
everything,
faucet.
how
You
do you
gotta cut off the
control?
faucet. You gotta get rid of shit like Citizens United, which made it a whole lot easier to lobby and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If you make it to where if you get rid of lobbying and make it to where candidates have to get their funding from their constituents, the people that they're wanting to vote for them, you'd have totally different politicians, totally different class of politicians, because they'd be more accountable to their voters and not to the people who actually funded their campaign. Because that's what's going on right now. Is they're going on campaigns making a bunch of promises to us and then they're going to a back room and getting a big check, and that's who they're actually loyal to, is whoever's handing them that check. You know what I'm saying? So you got that.
Correct. So you think that to alleviate this problem, i.e., APAC, Israel, them doing what they want to do, us not necessarily having control is a lobbying thing. And I agree with you. I agree with you as a lobbying thing, but that's what you can sum it up to.
Like that's just for the lobbying thing. Like for Israel, you're gonna have to like, yeah, you're gonna have to take away daddy's hand and let them survive on their own for a little bit and see how they fare. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
yeah,
But they've lobbied enough to not allow that to happen. Like you've structured so much going on that I can't, if I allow you to fail, it's like it's almost like you got something over my head. You know what I mean? Like if you had something over my head and like you wanted to use that as leverage against me, like a tape or something.
or a file,
You know what I mean? Like a I don't know, like a dossier or like
just
a
documents, just
book,
random, random
documents,
documents,
Files, files. I
files,
think Landon said
emails.
it best.
you know, all types of shit. It's crazy because like the world was having one conversation, and then for the last 2 weeks we've been talking about the Strait of Hormuz. Like everybody knows the value of a barrel of oil and everything. All of a sudden, it's crazy how that happens. You know?
Well played, well played. And just as fast as they change topics, let's change this one.
Hey, I was wondering
Hey,
how you're
let's
going to
get
transition, so this is perfect.
so within this 10-day time period, we had a few things that actually are taking place. One of them is going to be uh the Strait of Hormuz is still not open. But Artemis 2 is going to return back to Earth. So we
Yeah,
we, we kind of spoke on Artemis 2 leaving when it first happened. Super excited. You know what I mean? Dope to watch. I'm not going to retract my statement, but I will correct myself if I can do so. I said that SpaceX had a better showing of the rocket. I still stand on that. Like their initial showing was way better. Lando made a good point. SpaceX is privately owned. Elon Musk throw money. You know, having these new age kids gonna come in and have your streaming up to par. Boom. That's what I chalk it up to. But I've went and watched the videos that NASA, after they get time to get their videos, compile them and put them out. Super impressive. Looks the same way as SpaceX. You know what I mean? Only thing it don't have is like the little like the gauges at the bottom. But outside of that, it's dope. Like SpaceX gives you the velocity on the map. I mean, excuse me, on the screen, and it gives you the G forces and the distance and all that type of stuff.
right.
NASA was like limited or rudimentary, where it was just more along the lines of I ain't gonna say what the pilots would see, but it was just more along the lines of this the least amount of information that's going to be displayed. Enjoy what we're putting out there, and I get it. So I will say I'll just clean myself up on that one. Outside of that, them boys is up there. Uh, Shouts out to all four of them up there, right? Uh,
Yeah,
I ain't seen. I've been watching as much as I can of it. You know what I mean, like on
right.
YouTube or go to NASA and
Did you
watch
watch
like
any of
whatever
the
streams.
moon flyby or
Uh,
any of that?
yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't see anything. I'm saying this for the alien thing. I didn't see nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see nothing crazy as like, oh shit, what was that? So if anybody drop any videos, it's like, oh shit, what was that? Might be AI saying that to
The
say that, right?
aliens, the aliens already knew we was about to come through, so they were like, "Hey, nobody be out there on the moon.
right.
Like
They've
we
been
gotta live
ducking us.
off."
They've been ducking us since the first time we sent a rocket up into space. They was like, oh, they getting too close. So every time we move out, they just back up a little bit. You know, they ain't fucking with us.
I saw I saw this picture. It was the backside of the moon, right? And this person commented, they were like, "That's not the backside of the moon. Why's it got light?" I was like, the dark side of the moon isn't always the dark side of the moon. It's just never turns, but it's not always dark.
Hey man,
It's just a
some
matter
shit you
of
shouldn't have to
perspective.
explain. You common. I ain't even say common sense, but like certain things, people just you know just don't put two and two together sometimes, right?
People think the world's flat, so
There, I'm not even gonna get into that.
There are people that think that
But
this
before
whole
we
Artemis
before we go
thing.
any further, I want before we go further, I want to say this. This my boy told me this. Like, what if like never mind, we're not even Is AI? What if aliens is just AI? Like not actual beings. Like the spaceships that we see is like what we sent to Mars or what we sent to like a satellite, but a spaceship. So like our best F-22 Raptor, for instance, right, has way more capabilities than we as human beings can put that plane through because we as human beings can only withstand up to so much.
Right.
So what if I put an autonomous thing, being, or just like I forget there was a movie with Jamie Foxx and they had like they had gave a fighter jet its own mind and it
All
flew
right, I
by
know that
itself.
movie. Yeah.
What if what we're seeing the spaceships is the same thing? Something that's sent out for a vast amount of distance to gain our
Pro,
reconnaissance
pro.
on whatever information. Because you're never gonna make it here in time. So like if you're looking at Earth based off of time and stuff like that, time dilution and whatever, or space and time, shall I say, if you're 400 light years away, 400 million light years away, or whatever, and you're looking at Earth, according to time and the way shit works, you won't see human beings on Earth. You'll see whatever was going on 400 million light years away. So if you look at Earth, you won't see us walking around. You just be like, oh, it's nothing. So it's nothing to go see. But if you send the ship out, you can get quote unquote live feedback the same way we're getting this information back from Artemis too. Now that was just a wild ass take on aliens versus AI. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah, I have no idea where all that.
It's AI. That's it. Like that's it. If you send something to go see something and then you want to transmit back, but it crashes wherever it goes. That's it. It's that simple. Same way they're doing on Mars right now with the rover. Only difference is we're driving around instead of flying around.
Right. So
That
then,
would be it.
but, but, so you're saying the spaceships that we see are just their AI drones?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying what if they were? That's all I'm saying. What if they were that? Instead of it being so, oh man, these are beings from another place. What if it was just a ship sent from somewhere else, from whatever galaxy, however many light years away, and this is just what we're seeing, like a reconnaissance thing. That's it. You know. My boy said he thinks that's more likely than it being an alien being traveling at the speed of light and doing all this crazy shit. Because bodies can't withstand that.
What
But
if their body?
I digress.
I'm a whole
We don't know.
I poke holes in theories. That's what I do.
I know that's what you want, a hole poker. I don't even know what I don't even have a good. I'm gonna figure out something. Hole pokers. What is that? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I just
Balloon
people start
busters, man.
proposing stuff to me. I just be like, but what? If, but what about? But what if?
See, like that's what we need for Artemis 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what engineers and people like that do. So the reason I'm bringing that up again, Artemis 2 coming back. It's gonna be pretty dope. Same thing. They're just gonna land in the ocean, get picked up, then boom. The dope part is Artemis 3, 4 is doing more than what they're doing right now. So ultimately, trajectory wise, they shoot off at a certain point from the Earth. They utilize the gravitational pull, and then what is it? A translunar ejection, or whatever trajectory, whatever it is. But they shoot off, and then they go towards the moon. They're going towards a certain spot in the moon based off of how much light and how much darkness it has. And some of these craters on the moon are massive. They're a lot bigger than what we see on Earth, right? But when you get close up to them, you realize that there's certain parts within that structure that are livable, manageable to what we know, right? And when I say manageable, meaning that it's the least amount of light and the least amount of darkness. So it's that just right, that sweet spot. So in theory, if things are traveling through space and time, hitting the Earth, or excuse me, hitting the moon, creating craters, rocks, asteroids, most of these things come with other chemicals, molecular breakdowns, or just minerals in general. So what they're thinking is it could be water deposits
Yeah.
and hydrogen
Yeah.
deposits. So we're going to be able to land on the moon, and we'll be able to extract water, and we'll be able to extract hydrogen to fuel a rocket to get off the moon. So 3, I think is I forget what exactly they're doing on 3, but 4 we're supposed to touch down,
Right. So
right? And
three is they're supposed to go back to the moon and like find the suitable space to land the touchdown rover and shit like that, and like just eye it and spot it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's suitable. I think. Yeah.
yeah,
Right. And then 4 is the actual landing. I think.
yeah.
I was
So
telling
3
Corey.
is I got my bad. I got it right here. So targeted to be a demonstration mission in low Earth orbit, testing commercial landers, SpaceX that slash Blue Origin before returning to lunar missions. Uh, and then 4 is going to be planned first crew lunar landing since Apollo, utilizing the SLS rocket to land in lunar southern pole or south pole. So that's that part where the crater's deep enough where it has enough shade, so that way you won't burn up from the
Exposure
whatever
to
the
the sun.
250 degree whatever, right? And then they'll be able to put things out like solar panels, gather that actual solar energy that's out there to power things that's there. That's ultimately later on. But the crazy part about it is I've seen plans all the way up to 2036 to where they're going to be, or what the plan is to be, taking astronauts to and from the moon every month, right? Once a month, they're going to be bringing goods or bringing astronauts to and from, and people be able to stay up there long term. Based off what we're seeing now, based off what we're doing, do y'all think this is capable? And do you think you will see this in our lifetime? Go
Yeah.
ahead, Lando.
Yes, I think we are capable because we are already doing it. And what I was saying before is I was telling Corey before we started recording that I had went to Houston a couple of years ago, and they were talking about all of this. They were talking about the Artemis program, and they were talking about the plans, and they had like mock up of the module of the launcher and things like that. I mean, the lander, and talking about this plan. And I was telling Corey, I was like, man, I was so hype about it when I was there. I was like, oh, this is dope. And then as soon as I left, I forgot about it. And then this week, or last week, or whatever, whenever the first launch, I was like, I remember, oh shit, this is a whole thing. This is a whole 10-year plan. This isn't just we're going to the moon on a random Tuesday. This is the first step in a
Mm.
multi-year, multi-plan step thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hyped for the whole thing. It's pretty dope.
So you think we will populate the moon? And populate, by populate I mean like people on the moon for an extended period of time, i.e., sleeping. Uh, uh, the same process that we do with the International Space
That's what I was
Station.
about to
Same
say.
process on the moon. Do you think that that's going to be
I think they'll be able to.
in
I
our
think they're going to
lifetime?
do that because they just had some people stuck up in the space station for an extended period of
Yeah,
time. They were supposed to go up there for like 2 weeks, and they ended up being stuck in space for like 6 months or some shit like that. Or I think it was even longer
Yeah,
than
it
that.
was a
You know what
long
I'm
time.
saying? Like, so we had the technology to do it. It's just we didn't have a reason, I guess, enough or the resources really to do it to do it. So now with the extra emphasis on trying to what seems like extract resources from the moon as much as set up a base on the moon to study it. It's more like it seems like we're trying to mine the moon and be the first ones up there to mine it.
Yeah, okay. And we'll touch on that next because that's a whole nother point. But Corey, what do you think? Do you think you'll see that we will see this in our lifetime? And do you think that it's possible to do, i.e., populate the moon, be up there for extended period of times?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. To both of those things, I think I almost agree with Lando, like word for word. Like I think we have the capability. I think we'll be up there. The only thing that I think that would push it back is funding, which you know, may be a problem. And then if one, you know, God forbid something happened on one of these missions, you know, then they may, you know, say, hey, maybe we don't need to go to the moon, or you know, we get a new president who's like, the moon, fuck that. I don't even think it's real. Like, we're not going there. So
Man,
I
if
mean,
you
a
elect
lot
a
of things could
president that
change.
says, I don't think the moon is real, I'm fucking moving out of the United States, bro. Like, fuck that. I'm not staying here for President Dingbat. Fuck that.
That fucking cheese ball up there? Not worried about that.
So for me, I'm gonna say no to both. Right? Neither one. No, I'm joking. I
I
think I
like it.
think
I
I,
like it.
I think both of them is very plausible. I think it's gonna be cool to actually see like a structure on the moon. You know what I'm saying? That somebody like they can send live feedback of that structure on the moon and motherfuckers are just doing shit on the moon. Because a lot of people, what I think is cool is like the man, you get to like do it's just so much different shit that like the gravity is different. So
Get a
like
golf ball.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? All that type of shit is different. Like, bro, you might be able to hit 700, 800 yards. You know what I mean? Off of a drive. Caca.
Y'all.
I'm gonna be
There's a
mad if I
G.
don't send it into
You out
space.
here just talking about hitting, shanking golf balls and shit. What is that?
Living life on the
Yeah,
moon.
come on, man. Jesus Christ. You need to get up. Grow up, man.
What are you
Everybody
gonna do?
plays golf.
Plant something?
What?
No, but
I said, what are you gonna do? Plant something?
No, you can throw a football, fling a frisbee. You can do all types of shit. You know what I'm saying?
You throwing a football in a
We're
giant
just not the
astronaut suit?
demographic that's playing golf. So him going straight to shanking drives on the moon is out of nowhere to me. I don't, no hate.
Now
well,
black people
Corey
can't
brought it
play
up.
golf.
Corey brought it up, and I just assisted with that.
It don't
But
even make sense for Corey. I know how you live, Corey. You ain't hitting the courses either.
I did once. It was embarrassing. We had old clubs and shit. They looked at me and my pops and they were like,
Oh, there.
okay.
Did you guys pay your fee? You
That
pay your dues?
we did. Multiple people were like, they let y'all on? Because we were just in like
Of
jeans and
course.
a fucking t-shirt.
They didn't have to card y'all. They looked at what you was wearing. It was like, look at the shoes. These guys don't belong.
They were like, but it was a Thursday in the morning. No
You
one was
too?
there.
You
They're
guys
like,
pulled up in the Saturn? You guys? You belong here?
you guys know what you're doing, huh?
but ultimately, we get up there, we land. What's the likelihood of y'all think like we're on the moon, right? What's the likelihood of do y'all think that there's anything out there, not in space, on the moon, any living being anywhere?
Maybe. Probably not.
Probably not. Like, I think, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I think everything's microscopic.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If anything, it's going to be microscopic. It's something in the dirt or something. Like, they would have seen it. Like, they'd have seen it the first time they went up there and landed or something. You know what I'm saying? They'd have seen it on the flyby if it was big enough. Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't think it's nothing huge, right? For me personally, I'm almost to the point where you say like if something was out there, it would have been some type of something. You know what I mean? Like like for something to live out there, that's crazy as fuck off the rip. There's nothing out there that like there's no nutrients. Like you're
right.
waiting
I
for an
understand. So
asteroid
what
to
is it
hit.
eating or what is it doing? So it'd have to be something microscopic in the dirt. Just
Boom. Which makes me think that maybe we are the start to aliens. Because what if we go out there and our bacteria mix with that bacteria and create something?
Well, that's why.
Because I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this quick story. When I was younger, they had this thing at the y'all remember book fairs?
Yeah.
They had this little package you could buy at a book fair. It looked like wood chips. I swear to God. You put it in the water, you hold light over it, and you just let it sit there. And then isopods came out of it. Essentially what it was isopods. So it was like isopod seeds or whatever, or eggs.
Hmm.
The wood chips was minerals for them to eat. Isopods would just eat the food, and then they would start off larvae, and then it would grow into a real life isopod and be swimming around in the bucket. So for me, in my mind, it's like, oh shit, you can mix bacteria and just make something. That's where that came from. I know it's outlandish, but in my head,
I
like,
love the way your brain
you
functions.
know, we don't know what our we don't know what shit on the earth is gonna do to
Right.
like a foreign
Oh, okay.
object.
Okay.
Prime example, foreign object. You eat dirt off the earth,
Hold on,
may
bro.
not do nothing to you.
Bro, let me have this conversation with you, man. So, what they do is they bring back samples and they observe them in the lab, like before they eat. Like, I think it's illegal for you and I to even possess moon rocks or that type of stuff,
Correct.
like right now, because it still hasn't even been cleared. Like, they're still researching the
Yeah,
effect
that's a drug.
on people and shit. That as well. You know what I'm saying? That as well. But but yeah, I think like what you're talking about is true. It's just we haven't been up there enough to even begin to do the research to know what those effects are, and I think they're still conducting the research, and that's part of the lab and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like they're going to be out there raw dogging the rocks. They're going to be in 3 layers of containment. First of all, just because they're going to be exposed to the elements of the moon, you know what I'm saying? And they don't know how that's going to work. You know what I'm saying? So,
Raw dog in the
yeah.
rocks.
But
Yeah, so
but
like
in
what
all the
about
movies, that is how you get aliens. That somebody starts doing something, some real normal human shit with a alien rock, and all of a sudden, boom, we have this problem on our hands.
like
Time.
prime example, fecal matter. You shit.
I
It
do.
provides nutrients or for grass out here in America, in the world, shall I say. Manure. You could utilize
Only in
manure
America. Well, only in
for
America are we kidding. Everybody else.
only in America. It doesn't work anywhere else.
They throw up everywhere else.
But that's like on some crazy shit. Like what we got to dispose of certain things for us. Granted, I would assume that we're taking all of our waste off of that the moon. We're taking all of our waste from the space station because there's no room to store it, right? Like, but again, what if you're just putting it out in the wind in the International Space Station? Okay,
No, they're
cool.
not doing
Well,
that.
I know they, huh?
They're not doing that. That's
I
part
know
of.
they dispose of piss like that, or they do something like that flying.
I thought they
Yeah,
incinerated
that's
it.
what I was gonna say.
Instead of
Yeah, they don't
I think
just they
so.
don't just expose it to the environment because they don't know what it's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly that's my whole point.
so
Is when we get to the moon,
they
we start
incinerate
disposing
it,
of
and
stuff.
then they like. But again, like that's all. So this is you poking holes into the stuff. Like, so it's okay for you to poke holes. But anyway, like when they set up that base, I'm sure they've thought about all of this. Like, how are they gonna like maintain the environment of the moon without causing too much direct human interaction with it, right? So for the things like you're talking about, for like the facilities for them to use and stuff, I'm sure there will be it'll be separated from the natural environment of the moon. It'll probably be super encased, and every time they change out crews or something, they change out that bucket, and it goes back, and then they incinerate it or do whatever with it then. But I'm sure they're not dumping buckets of shit into a crater, a random crater on the moon.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. That's why it's a what if. You know what I mean? Like more like a, hey man, let's be fun and plausible right here to see what could happen. Holy shit! Some guy decides to just take a deuce outside. It freezes up. It drops to the ground.
And it reforms
Fucking
into
enzyme bugs are eating
a
it. Next
sickle.
thing you know, it's a colony of these fucking indestructible bugs that can eat through anything. Now they're
Starship
in there
Troopers.
with us. Come on, man.
That movie
We've
would
all
be
seen Alien.
so unbelievable, but I would be first in line to see it, man.
Yeah. Like, man, it's so much stuff going through my mind right now. Like Starship Troopers. Like, if we get on the
That's
moon,
what I said. It's the prelude.
Yeah.
bro, it has to be. Like that's and granted, I'm all for space exploration, but that's crazy. You know what I mean? Well, let me ask you this: how deep? If there's people willing to just risk their life to just go, are y'all cool with sending them to anywhere? Like,
Yeah.
man, I don't give a shit. It's
Yeah.
supposed to take me
How do
48
you think
years to get
how
to
do you
this
think
planet. I'm gonna go.
how do you think the rest of the world was found? How do you think anything was found? You had somebody just had to be willing to go and figure it out.
I
Yeah,
wonder
see,
if
see,
this drug works. I wonder what's over
Right.
there. You know,
Right.
we got to have someone to test it on.
Somebody's gotta be the guinea pig.
so y'all cool with sending them is what I'm asking you.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm not
you
asking
Houston's
if
guinea
people are
pig.
cool.
hold on. So when the Russians first started sending beings into space, they would get stray dogs off of the
Yeah.
street because they knew they would be less likely to have any type of connection to a person to be feeling like they're missing them or whatever while they're going through whatever they're going to go through. So
So nice.
So that's my whole point. So if they like, hey
KGB
man,
always looking out for you.
see, we're
if we
all on the
just
same
like
algorithm because y'all just shook your head at the same time. We all just watched that video this week, then, huh?
no, then I'm gonna say no to that one.
Okay.
I don't know what
But
you're talking
like that's
about.
what I'm saying. So which if I mean I guess it's cool. I guess it's cool. It's just crazy for me, like because I'm pretty
You
sure
wouldn't
there's people
allow them
that
to sacrifice
wouldn't
themselves.
mind.
You wouldn't allow them to sacrifice themselves for the uh advancement of civilization. Like, how do you get that advancement without that sacrifice? Somebody has to go out there and collect that data.
Yeah, and my so yeah, okay, cool. I get it. I just for me to send somebody to a certain depth for information is crazy.
You ever wonder if he's married?
Like my whole thing about it. But
What's
if they're
crazy
choosing
about it?
to,
Like, I guess I don't understand the crazy part about it because it's for the betterment of everyone else. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see
Everybody.
the what's crazy about it.
okay, so what was that shit called? What is the when they made all them soldiers look at the nuclear bomb? Or was it the bomb that they tested and all the motherfuckers came back with radiation poison years later and all that? That was necessary. That's why they told him to do it. That's why they told him to do exactly what they did. That's why they told all those soldiers to do it because they needed to find out this information, and that was detriment to everybody.
So
I'm
those
not
soldiers didn't
saying,
want to do it.
yeah, because there's people that didn't want to do it,
They were
right? And
told
I'm
to
not
do it.
saying
That's
that,
not the
like,
same situation that you just proposed.
Right.
They were
again,
given
that's what I was
orders.
trying to say. I'm not saying that it would be the same situation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying when you think about, like, okay, let me put it to you this way. If you go out and I find 10% of information and I send somebody out and he gathers 10% of information, and then I send somebody out, they gather 10% of information. I send somebody out, they gather 10% of information. Like, what at what point in time do we say, hey man, look, we got to figure out something better because we're only getting to a certain point. And what you're saying, if we're getting 10%, then 15, then 16, then 20, then 21, then 30, then 32, I can, okay, cool, because we're gathering more. But if we're stuck at a stagnant point where we can't get any further and we're just throwing life out there, that's why I'm saying, like, motherfuckers just, again, if somebody's willing to sacrifice their life, okay, I get it. But you have to put the bar out there. Hey, man, you're going to die. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you want to go to
Yeah, this is a
Mars?
one-way trip.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a good chance you won't ever come back. Matter of fact, you won't ever come back. And
Right.
then
Don't even.
that person goes out. You know what I mean? Like that's what for me it's like, damn, are we? And I'm all for exploration. I'm all for gathering more information. Even when you talk about Columbus and stuff, like they were grounded to the ground to a certain extent. Granted, you can't see as far
But we
as
only know about Columbus because he was successful enough to make it back home. There was hundreds of other Columbuses that
that left and stayed.
no that left.
This shit sweet over here. Ain't
No,
nobody
no,
over
no,
here.
no,
I'm
not
going
that
to
left.
stay.
No, not that left and stayed. That left and never made it 100 feet away from the dock. Left and made it halfway through the ocean. Like you only hear about the
You
success
talking
story.
about Cuba?
No, no, no. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
Oh,
I'm
my fault.
saying that there are like
I got it, man.
so you can't advance in society without having those other 100 other people go out and make that ultimate sacrifice so that that one person can make the successful route that we then everybody else will follow successful.
Got you. So navigating the surface that you live upon is one thing. Veering away from the surface that you live upon to go navigate somewhere else is different to me, to in a certain degree. Again, I'm all for exploration, but what I'm saying is we know to a certain extent. I don't need a spaceship or a suit to go anywhere on Earth.
Hold on.
I can go anywhere.
No, but going back to Columbus though, they was only working with half a map. They didn't even know half of the Earth existed. Like he thought he was just gonna
That's
ride around this was all just water and he was gonna pop over to India. You know what I'm saying? Like they were just as blind to what was out there as we are as to blind to what's out there. You know what I'm saying? It's just different technology, different means of exploration, but it's still the same pursuit. You know what I'm saying?
okay. Okay. I mean, okay, yeah. I can yeah, I get it. Cause for me, what I would my whole thing is the human consumption of life, right? So like for somebody to die, like there's a for somebody to die to gain information is almost like worker bees, worker ants. You know what I mean? Like we got plenty enough to like we got plenty enough to just send out there to die off
Yeah.
to get this information.
That's how we learn. That's how we get rules. That's how we get laws. Is somebody fucks up, and then we have to establish, okay, don't do this, or don't, or you know what I'm saying. Like that's how everything in life works, good and bad.
Yeah.
So let me
That's
ask
how I
y'all this.
learned not to put the Pop Tarts in the toaster before you take off the.
Jesus.
If I hadn't read that because someone else experienced it, then I would never.
That's true. They tell you they got on Claymores do not eat. Like on C4 and shit like that.
That's
Everything
crazy.
in the military, bro,
It
everything in the
looks like
military,
taffy.
For a reason.
everything in the
For a
military
reason.
was put out for a
For
reason
a
because
thousand. Like,
not because we're just bullshitting, because somebody did this
somebody
shit
Somebody
did
did
already.
that
this.
shit.
Yeah.
So with that being said, do y'all think that interplanetary exploration is necessary? Or is it just an inquisitive thing of the human nature to just want to go and explore?
I think it's the next step of the or the inquisitive nature of the human brain. Like, there's nothing left really to explore here besides the oceans, and we don't really have the technology for that as much as we have the technology to explore space. You know,
Isn't that crazy?
Time out. We use the ocean, granted, not the Mariana Trench, but we definitely use the ocean.
we use the ocean,
We
but
definitely use the
we haven't
ocean to
explored.
help us explore space.
Yeah,
So shouldn't we explore the ocean more to go deeper maybe into space or
It's too hard.
okay.
too
So
hard.
Corey,
That's
what
why.
you
So
think?
that it's too hard, but that's what all of the well, not all of the, but like that's what a lot of the focus of technology right now is focusing on the next wave of exploration. Like that's why a lot of the rocket power and stuff is connected to space exploration and things like that, using different fuel sources and things like that to try to get bigger propulsion and longer lasting fuel supplies and things like that, so that you can
Yeah.
explore deeper and faster.
Tracking.
That's what she
So
said.
do you think do you think that do you think it's necessary? Or you think it's just an inquisitive thing?
I don't know necessary. Like I think it is inquisitive. Like it's inquisitive just to me because like obviously we're not the only ones out here. So like like from a so you want to know what else is around you, of course, you know what I'm saying? And what if things like resources run out here, you want to know or be able to at least move or colonize somewhere else. Keep the human experiment going if possible, you know.
Okay. So I'm throw a kink in your plan, right? And this is just a hypothetical question. You saying like we need to go somewhere else to find resources because we're depleting them on this earth right here, right? What happens, right? We figured out that there's too many people populating the earth. What if we use those people that's overpopulating the earth
That's
for
fuel.
exploration, space exploration? We just send them out and then they die, right? Because we're trying to find out more information based off your theory. We're trying to find out more information. But what we did in that particular failed swoop, we just saved our years on this planet. So now, instead of 40 years, now we can do another 50 years with these resources. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, the people are signing up for that. I
Jesus Christ,
I
man. You're
sacrificed
supposed to
my
say
body for
no,
that. I
bro.
sacrificed my body for that. Hey, I just got diagnosed with a terminal disease, and y'all say y'all can send my me in this probe out into space and it'll do some good for humanity. Fuck it. I'm gonna die anyway. Fuck it.
What if you're not a terminal disease? What if we're just you're selected to just get sent off humanity? Excuse me, sent off the earth just to conserve shit for
That's
other
different.
people.
It sounds like we're in dire straits and much.
No, we're just trying. Instead of getting in dire straits, we're about to preserve the time. So what we're needing to do is send
What the
a
move that you're
random
talking about
4 million
is
people off
dire
of the
straits.
earth.
The move that you're talking is some dire straight. We ain't got no choice shit. Like if we're not in that situation, nobody's going. Like you're gonna have to forcibly put people onto these ships to get them to do that.
This this is why I don't like. This is why I just figured this out. I don't like talking what ifs with you because you always bringing some shit that ain't that. This is my what if, and you're talking about oh well if it's no man. This is my shit. You can't
So
pull
what
in a
you're saying,
different
like people are
scenario
just gonna
in my
willingly
what if, bro.
what are the
My
parameters?
what if is
What are the parameters of your what if then?
the parameters are we're done with it, Corey. Because I can't even talk to Land about what ifs no more. What do you think
I
that
thought he was, for what it's worth, I thought he was spot on.
how's he spot on? It's my what if. The what if, look, for both of y'all, matter of fact, before I even get into that, we're just gonna jump to you, and then I'll jump back to that, because I'm not gonna forget it, right?
All right.
But
Not like me.
do you do you think that space exploration is necessary? And at what means are you willing to go to find more, shall I say?
Yeah, I
Or do
definitely
you
think
think
it's
it's just an
necessary.
inquisitive thing?
I think that's what started it. I think eventually, like Lando said, we're gonna run out of resources. I think as we grow, we'll try to span out. And then if you look at like the steps of civilization, right? Like first you take care, you conquer your area, then your planet, then your solar system, then your galaxy, um, and then the universe. So I mean, it's kind of just the
Who
Natural
told you that?
progression.
what
Who
you mean?
told who told you that you take more and more and more?
That's what they do, bro.
I was
Who?
about to say that's just a human thing.
Not all
No, it's
humans.
not. But who told you that? It's not a human thing. That's not a human thing. To take more and more and more, because there's people that live off the same land and migrate the same way you utilize goats and migrate fields.
It
Because
doesn't
if
mean
I eat over
every
here,
human is that way,
huh?
but it doesn't mean every human's that way. But there are definitely a huge amount of humans who are that way, and those type of people generally tend to be the people who find their way to the top and end up running things, and
Unfortunately.
that's just the way it is.
Yeah. See,
Unfortunately.
taking more than what you need is the problem. But
Mhm.
go ahead. My
I don't
bad. My
disagree.
bad.
I
My
don't
bad.
disagree.
I cut you in to say that. But go ahead. Go ahead. You were saying that it's going to be like a natural thing. The resources are going to get utilized up here, so we
Yeah,
have
I
no
mean,
choice but to. Okay.
yeah, I think over time it'll be, you know, a more dire thing, which is why I think what we're doing now is good. Like it's not a dire situation right now. We can slowly learn. We're gonna figure out the moon, and then we'll get to figure out Mars, and who knows where we go from there, you know? But I mean, like the temperature on Mars today, it was between like negative 250 and 86 degrees, which is like okay. So
No,
if you can
that's not
find one of those
okay. That's
spots,
not okay. That's not okay.
hold on. I'm talking about like inside of protective equipment and inside of a building and stuff like that to survive. And then you find one of those spots like the moon's not much better,
Right.
right? The moon's cold as
Yeah.
fuck. So
Yeah.
and that's the sense that I was talking about when you were saying, "Oh, we found a sweet spot on the moon." It's still
Okay.
cold as
Okay.
fuck in that spoon.
Okay.
So in that spoon,
Okay.
in that moon. So that's the regard I was talking about. Not like you can just be like, "I'm take my shirt off today."
Got you. I got you. I got
Like
you. So we've already withstood. I forget what is it in space. Well, negative 130 or some shit.
yeah, it's cold. I know
It's
it's
cold
in the
as fuck. But
negative
we've already
hundred
withstood
something.
that, and we already have structures right now on this earth that withstands 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah, that
Yeah, so
makes a lot of sense.
I think over time, we'll expand and hopefully it doesn't get to a point where it's like, we have to send people out because one, first of all, that doesn't really make sense because it costs a lot of money to build these
Right.
ships. And you're just sending people out left and right,
Right.
like,
Every month
hold on,
we
we could be
just
doing something
we're
better
just
with this
yeah.
money. We could figure this shit out. Make some desalination plants. You know they got CO2 grabbers or some shit like that. They're huge machines that suck CO2 out of the air and turn it into like concrete or some shit, and then it's stuck in the concrete for thousands of years and shit. And so like there's things that we can do with money invested to turn around like the climate change and shit like that and the human effects on it. Um, so I don't know. I feel like as opposed to spending all this money on building spaceships to send one person over this way, one over here, one over there,
Right.
4 million times.
Right.
Like,
So
no,
you,
Right. I
let's.
would definitely vote whoever's doing that out of office. Like we got all this money for spaceships and we out here sharing corn on the cobs, homie. Nah.
so you're saying exhaust all our resources on Earth first before we go deep sea diving,
No,
but
no, no, no.
still, still tap into make sure we're still up to par with exploration. We're just not investing all of our eggs in that basket as for let's leave now.
Right. We're slow
Okay.
rolling the game, learning the game, especially because it is a very expensive uh project. And like Corey was saying before, like you have, especially on the NASA side, you don't have this problem as much on the SpaceX side, but one fuck up and your funding is now in question, and you know what I'm saying, the public is like, do we really want to do this? Like at SpaceX, you can fuck up as much as you want because it's all self funded. But right,
But I don't think SpaceX killed anybody either yet.
yeah,
God forbid, not yet.
but
But you know what I
that's what
mean?
I was going to bring up
I
earlier.
think that's
No,
inevitable
no,
with
no, 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 no.
with what
I'm
they
not.
play
I'm
with.
not trying to bring up like they're going to kill somebody, but I was going to bring up earlier, like when you was talking about the SpaceX videos, like in comparison to the NASA videos, like their missions are very different. Of course, like the SpaceX video is going to be different because their whole mission is just that one video that we're going to launch and then re-land on the pad. That's the whole mission. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the NASA mission is we're gonna launch, we're gonna wrap around the Earth, ricochet around the moon, wrap around that bitch a couple times, and come back and land. Like that's the whole mission. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah, Muskie don't do exploration. He does travel. So it's like driving down the I-15, I-14, like just going to Austin. I know where I'm going. It's that simple. I'm not going any past Austin. I'm going to Austin and I'm coming right back. I.e., going from Earth to the International Space Station, which has been done numerous of times, and then you come back. That's all he's doing. So there's no exploration. Like you're not like, oh shit, this is a bug. We got to fix right now. Like, oh, I got to
you
figure
just
out why this
glorify
isn't
you
feeding back or
just
whatever like that.
space Uber to the space station. You know?
Yeah. And I dig it wholeheartedly. I think all this shit that we got going on right now is pretty cool. As for the space programs, and I think it's dope that NASA is back into the forefront, so to speak, of space exploration. Like now that hey man, it's something cool for the kids to look forward to. Like if you want to be an astronaut, like you could say, oh man, I want to be on Artemis 15, or I want to be there when they do this. That'd be dope as shit. Versus what they say, like 50, excuse me, 50 something years since we've been on the moon. You know what I mean? So I think it's pretty dope. Only other crazy part is, like Lando kind of touched on it, and we might have to, touch on this another one, but it's like a race right now to get to the moon and stake claim to it. Cause like, there's an international, excuse me, there's a space agreement between certain countries. And then Russia and China have their own agreement. You know what I mean? Which means that if we land a rocket at the same time and we both trying to harvest the same hydrogen, they feel like they got stake claim to it. We feel like we got stake claim to
Now we're gonna have an intergalactic you know
it.
what I'm saying? Controversy,
And that's one of the
not
things
just an
that,
international controversy, it'd be intergalactic
yeah.
controversy type shit. Like what the fuck?
And that's one of the things, like the big conspiracy people was talking about. I ain't say conspiracy,
Russia's
but
gonna be here
that's
for
one of the things
first.
that they were trying to say. That's the whole thing, is to get there first, is trying to get there first. But ultimately, I think it'd be pretty dope to put somebody to be able to go to and from the moon. I don't know if it'd ever be like that would be cool, right? Like to have it like a resort type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like where you
You know
can
how
go up
much
there and just
money?
hang out and
yeah.
shit.
You know how
But
much money and
uh
training you have to go like that ain't gonna that's no leisure flight. Let me just we just
Elon Musk
took me
is
and
I
the
doing
didn't
kids
say
that.
to
I
the
was
moon.
going.
Just
I
took
don't care
me,
how much it costs. I'll probably never be able to
me and the
afford it.
wife
But I'm
just took the
saying
kids to
it
the
would be
moon last
cool.
Tuesday. What did y'all do for spring break? Hell no. Like
Yeah, like yeah, hell yeah, that'd be cool. Like the people
Switches
that do the
moons.
that go around that what is it? What's ever that dude name is? Richard Branson, I want to say his
oh
name is,
yeah,
that
the first
shoot people to
the ozone.
they're going to, not to the moon, but they're going to, like, not space, but to where you're floating.
Yeah,
You float for like 2 minutes, and then you sit back down, and then they bring you back down. Like people pay thousands of dollars for that. I'm not saying I would, but if I had it, I would. Shit, I mean,
yeah,
shit,
yeah. But
experience some shit everybody
that's a
don't get to
different. But
experience and then come
again,
back,
that's a different flight and different rocket than going to the moon.
brother. The
But never
whole
mind,
point
never
is,
mind.
if you
I'm
could
poking
pay
holes.
for it, would you pay for it?
I just let it roll. Cool. I don't want to poke holes.
If you could pay for it, would you pay for it?
I'm not. If I could pay for it,
If
hold
you
on,
could
hold on.
afford to pay for it, would you go?
No, because I'm not sitting through whatever training and shit you got to go through. Because it's not just gonna be a leisure flight like you think it is. Like it's not the same thing.
Man, see how he put this fucking nuance in the
Just said,
goddamn
I just
question
said
about
no. I'm not
what
gonna do it.
the
It makes
But
training and
sense
that
shit.
though.
means
You
No,
gotta
it don't. It
explain
makes sense
why.
to what y'all. It makes sense to y'all world, what y'all making up. This is Tommy. I'm asking the questions, man. This is my question. I ain't put out no parameters of no fucking schooling, anything like that. Just a
so you just
simple,
went
if you could afford to go, would you go?
to the moon.
Man, if they had, I'm not willing to go through the training. What training? There is no training. There's no training put out there.
How
It's
how
just
does he
go.
know? How does he know that there's no training?
Brother, I just gave you the scenario. Literally.
But in the scenario,
Corey,
how is
would
he
you go?
supposed to
Yes or
know
no,
whether
man?
to expect training or not to expect training?
No,
It
Would you
wasn't
go
directly.
if you could afford to go? If they had a leisure trip, I'm not even gonna get into all that. Would you go? Yes or no? God
If
damn.
that, if they had a leisurely trip, yeah,
yes, I take a leisure trip to the moon.
I would. It'd be fun. Now,
Well,
in real life, I would go regardless, as long as there was like 20 to 30 flights ahead of me. You know, making sure
You're
like, all
not
right,
that
cool, they
first
know what they're
one. You're not
doing.
the inaugural flight.
No, no, not at
what-
all. I want to be the centennial flight.
This is our
the
hundredth,
100th.
our
Give
hundredth
me them
flight,
100.
our 100th successful flight. We've had 213 flights, but this is
No, don't tell me
Oh
that.
shit. See, so
That's less than 50% success rate, man. That's like 47%. That's less than a coin toss.
that's terrible. It's like I'm not
you
going
want
either.
to go to the
But
moon or not, brother?
well, y'all got anything for but got anything before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Just be on the lookout for that for the touchdown. The splashdown should be soon.
Tomorrow,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
10th,
6
April 10th is
points.
supposed to touch down.
But yeah, 6 points.
Yeah, man, it's going down, man. What? 6 points.
Touchdown.
You got anything before we get out of here, man?
Nah, man. KBA works as usual. I ain't put a lot of shit on because I've been busy, but I'll try and do better.
I thought you was talking about like they
I
had
don't
six
know, man.
points to
I don't know.
the parachutes or
Too
something.
bad we didn't.
That's why I was
All
like, man, this is
right, cool.
intriguing.
Touchdown.
Yeah,
Nah,
I'm gonna let that
yeah.
ride, but
Yeah, when I said it, I was like, damn, I guess they thought that was stupid as fuck.
And then you
yeah,
explained it. And I'm like,
I was waiting for something profound, as they say. I was waiting.
Nah, very simplistic. Very simple up here.
touchdown.
Hey, man, well, appreciate y'all coming on. Hey, appreciate everybody tuning in. Hey, shouts out to the Artemis crew. Shouts out to King Dano. Hey, shouts out to my pops, man. He just went through surgery, made it through safely.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
He had cancer, you know what I mean? So he had his prostate removed.
man.
God willing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything good to go. So shouts out to my pop, man. He a trooper. Shouts out to that dude, man. I love him to death. Oh yeah. If you're gonna waste your time to comment on a video that's wasting time, just know I appreciate you for wasting time. Hey man, it's T Broski, Corey, Lando. BrosTalk, we out here.
Another session with the bros. Bros talk.